It's a joke, right? People make mistakes. So today we are talking about discharge of contract. So discharge of a contract means termination of the contractual relation between the parties to a contract. There are two persons, two parties or three parties or four parties. They have a contractual relation. The end of it, the termination of it, that's called discharge. A contract is said to be discharged when the rights and obligations of the parties under the contract comes to an end. Right? There is nothing, the contract is over by many methods. So which are all the methods? We'll see now. Discharge by mutual agreement means what? Since a contract is created by mutual agreement, it can also be discharged by mutual agreement. Novation means substitution of new contract for the original contract. Such a new contract may be either between the same parties or between different parties. The term of contract may or may not be changed. Consideration for the new contract is the discharge of the original contract. Okay, so this is novation. Novation means you replace the old one by a new one. We saw two examples, right? We have to see two examples. Example 1. A owes money to B under a contract. It is agreed between A, B and C that B shall henceforth accept C as his debtor instead of A. The old debt of A to B no longer exists, and a new debt from C to B has been contracted. What does it mean? There are three persons, A, B, C, but originally A and B have some contract, and A is owning money to B. A is supposed to give money to B. That is the original contract. Now there is the third person, C. They all agree. C will be the new person who will have to be paid. Who will be paying instead of A. Right? The person who has to be paid is B, remains. The person who will be paying changes from A to C. So original contract between A and B is cancelled. The new contract between A, B and C remains. A owes rupees 10,000 to B. A is supposed to give B 10,000 rupees. A enters into contract with B and gives B a mortgage of his estate for 1,000 rupees in place of the debt of 10,000. This is a new contract and extinguishes the old one. Earlier he was supposed to give money, A is supposed to give money to B. Now he gives his property as a mortgage to B for 5,000 rupees instead of 10,000 rupees. So the new contract is valid, the old contract is gone. Rescission means what? Means cancellation of the contract by any party or all parties to a contract. Rescission means cancel. Example, X promises Y to sell and deliver 100 bales of cotton on 1st October at his godown, and Y promises to pay for goods on 1st November. X does not supply the goods. Y may resign the contract. Rescission means cancelling it. Because of some problem, you are cancelling it. Alteration. The terms you are altering, either the price, either the quantity or the quality. Sometimes payment date, sometimes the parties, something you are changing. That is called alteration. That is dealt in section 62. A change in the terms of the contract with mutual consent of the parties. Alteration discharges the original contract and creates a new contract. However, parties to the new contract must not change. You cannot change the parties. Alteration of contract doesn't imply change of parties. Parties means what? The persons who are contracting. X promises to sell and deliver 100 bales of cotton on 1st October. Y promises to pay for the goods on 1st November after 1 month. So afterwards, X and Y mutually decide that goods shall be delivered in 5 equal installments at Z good only. Right? Now you are not seeing the parties are not changing. The terms are changed. There are 5 equal installments. Okay. So original contract has been gone, a new contract has come. New contract with 5 equal installments and delivery where Z's go down. So this is called alteration of contract. So this is how the performance is done. So waiver is okay. You take it. You need not do something like that. Intentional relinquishment of a right under a contract means you are supposed to do something for me. I say okay, you need not do. Right? So that is called a waiver. Thus it amounts to releasing a person of certain legal obligation under a contract. A promises to supply goods to Y. Subsequently, Y accepts A from carrying out the promise. Means Y says to A, you need not supply. So now that is relinquishing the right, the other obligation. Right is for Y, obligation is for A. Right? This amounts to waiving the right of performance on the part of. Remission. Remission means acceptance by the promisee of a lesser fulfillment. Suppose you are asking for maybe some class A product. Now class B product is being given. Right? You are asking for a silk saree. You are given a cotton saree. That is what it is. You are settling for a lesser option. That's called remission. Setting for lesser option is called remission. So according to section 63, this is dealt in 63, remission, every promisee may dispense means finish off, with or remit wholly or in part the performance of the promise made to him, or may extend the time for such performance, or may accept instead of it any satisfaction which he thinks fit. So basically, you are giving a lesser option. Paint a picture of B and B afterwards for B seems you are no longer bound to perform the promise. A owes 5,000 rupees, A pays to B and B accepts. In satisfaction of the whole debt, 2,000 paid at the time and place at which 5,000 were payable. The whole debt is discharged. He is accepting instead of 5,000 rupees, he is saying okay, pay 2,000 only. You are okay. So this is called remission, accepting a lesser performance, lesser quality, quantity, something like that. Example 3, A owes 5,000, C pays to B 1,000 rupees. Accept in satisfaction of his claim on A. This payment is discharge of the whole claim. Okay, instead of paying 5,000, I pay 5,000 and all claim is over. A owes B under a contract a sum of money, amount of which has not been ascertained. A without ascertaining the amount gives to B and B in satisfaction thereof accepts the sum of 2,000. This is a discharge of the whole debt. So you are saying I will give you my the loan, but you have not said how much loan. So you say you give some amount the other person accepts. This is basically in place of the whole thing, part you accepted, even then this is called remission. So you performed the whole debt, whole claim. You are done. You are relieved from the contract. You are discharged from the contract. Okay. Example 5. A owes B rupees 2000 and is also indebted to other creditors. Indebted means you are supposed to give loan to, pay back the loan to other creditors who have given you loan. A makes an arrangement with his creditors, including B, to pay them a composition of 50 paise in a rupee upon respective demands. Payment to B for rupees 1000 is a discharge of B's demand. Right? So basically 50 paisa per 1 rupee. 2000 means 1000, 5000 means 2500, 10,000 means 5000. So in place of 10,000 I am paying 5,000, remission over discharge performed. There is a distinction between novation and alteration. Novation means what? Replacing it, right? So basis of distinction in terms of parties. In alteration you cannot change the parties. In novation, parties may or may not be changed. Novation, parties may or may not be changed. In alteration, parties cannot be changed. Terms. Terms can be, may or may not be changed. Terms are changed. This is called alteration. There's a difference between novation and alteration.